September 8, 2025, Kathmandu, Nepal. Tens of thousands of young people gather near the federal parliament. They're wearing school uniforms. They're carrying placards. They're demanding change. Within hours, bullets are flying. Within 2 days, 72 people are dead, and the government of Nepal has collapsed. This is the story of how one generation Nepal's Gen Z rose up against corruption, faced a bloody crackdown, and changed their nation forever. To understand what happened, you have to understand what young Nepalis were feeling before September 2025. Nepal has a youth unemployment rate of over 20%. Thousands of young people leave the country every year just to find work. More than 1/3 of Nepal's entire economy comes from money sent home by citizens working abroad. But while ordinary youth struggled, something else was happening on social media. The children of politicians, people called them Nepo babies, short for nepotism babies, were posting videos of their luxury lives. Designer handbags, expensive cars, vacations in foreign countries, and young Nepalis were watching. And they were angry. Why, they asked, do politicians' kids live like kings while we can't find jobs in our own country? That anger had been building for months. Then the government did something that lit the fuse. September 4th, 2025. The Nepali government announces a ban on 26 social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube, X, all blocked. The government says it's because these platforms didn't register with authorities something about fake accounts and hate speech. But young people see it differently. For them, social media isn't just entertainment. It's how they connect with family working abroad. It's how they run their small businesses. It's how they express themselves. One protester, 19-year-old Sabana Budathoki, told the BBC, "The social media ban was just the reason we gathered. Rather than the ban, everyone's focus is on corruption. We want our country back." Another protester said, "They wanted to silence us. So we came to raise our voices." The stage was set for September 8th. September 8th, 2025, Monday morning. Thousands of young people gather at Medigar Mandala in Kathmandu, near the federal parliament building. Many wear their school uniforms. Some carry books. They chant slogans: "Shut down corruption, not social media. End to corruption. Enough is enough." At first, it's peaceful. But then some protesters break through barricades. They climb the parliament walls. And that's when everything changes. Police move in. But they don't just use water cannons or tear gas, they use live ammunition. One protester tells news agencies, "The police have been firing indiscriminately. They fired bullets which missed me but hit a friend standing behind me. He was hit in the hand." Within hours, 19 young protesters are dead in Kathmandu alone. 2 more die in the eastern city of Idahari. Over 100 are injured, rushed to hospitals on motorcycles. At one hospital, tear gas seeps inside, making it impossible for doctors to work. An official says, "I have never seen such a disturbing situation at the hospital." That evening, Nepal's home minister resigns on moral grounds. A curfew is imposed. The army is deployed, but the worst is yet to come. As news of the killing spreads, a video goes viral across social media. It was filmed months earlier, in March 2025, at a school annual function. A student named Abiskar Raut, the head boy of Holy Bell English Secondary School, is giving a speech. In the video, he says, "Today I stand here with a dream of building a new Nepal, with a fire of hope and passion burning within me. But my heart is heavy because this dream seems to be slipping away. We are bound by the chains of unemployment, trapped by the selfish games of political parties. Corruption has woven a web that is extinguishing the light of our futures. Youths rise. We are the torchbearers of change. If you do not raise your voices, who will? If you do not build this nation, who will?" And then, the words that would become the movement's anthem. "We are the fire that will burn away the darkness. We are the storm that will sweep away injustice." That speech, delivered months before anyone knew what was coming, became the voice of a generation. September 9th, 2025, the second day. The killings of the first day have transformed the protests into something far more dangerous. In Kathmandu, the federal parliament building is set on fire. Black smoke rises over the capital as the symbol of Nepal's government burns. The Supreme Court is also torched. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's private residence is ransacked and set ablaze. Crowds of protesters break in, destroy furniture, and light fires. The home of a former prime minister is also burned. His wife dies in the flames. By the end of the second day, the death toll has climbed. The health ministry confirms at least 30 dead and more than 1,000 wounded. Other reports say 72. But the protesters have achieved something remarkable. They've brought down a government. That same day, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli resigns. President Ramchandra Poodle also steps down. In 48 hours, a leaderless movement of young people has toppled the most powerful people in the country. But what made this protest different wasn't just what happened, it was how it happened. This was Gen Z protesting in their own style. They raised the Jolly Roger flag from the anime One Piece's symbol of rebellion. One protester wore a Spider-Man mask while facing security forces. Another young man was filmed calmly lying under an armored truck, scrolling on his phone while military personnel stood above him. The video got millions of views. Some played Uno cards in the middle of protests. Others danced in front of burning buildings. They created aura farming TikToks with soldiers in the background. Their slogans were pure Gen Z, first time protesting, kinda nervous, GRWM to go protest, pray I come back. So asterisks seeked up, even introverts are here. And they organized without leaders using Discord, TikTok, and messaging apps. One person on Reddit noted, how fitting to elect through Discord when the Gov tried banning social media. This wasn't about being unserious. This was about speaking a language the powerful didn't understand, while connecting instantly with millions of young people around the world. And then, something remarkable happened. Once the violence ended, the same young people who had burned buildings returned to clean up. In Hatagon, they recovered stolen goods, televisions, microwaves, appliances, and lined them up on the streets so owners could reclaim them. Others swept roads, collected rubble, and picked up ash. Their message was clear. We protest against corruption, not against the nation. One group posted online, Day 1 of building the nation together. We feel extremely accountable for what happened on September 8th and 9th. They had torn down symbols of corruption. Now they were rebuilding. But let us not forget the cost. 17-year-old Shreeyam Chaulagain was protesting in his school uniform. He never came home. 22-year-old Editu Aral was shot multiple times. From his hospital bed he said, I have no regrets. We want a transparent government. No corruption and no dictatorship. Dozens of young people lost their lives. Hundreds were wounded. Families were shattered. One protester told CNN, we all felt very hopeless and helpless at that point. Another said, we are scared that students who protested peacefully will also be targeted. This was not just a political movement, it was a tragedy. And the scars will remain for generations. So what did they achieve? The Prime Minister resigned. The President resigned. The Home Minister resigned. The social media ban was revoked. A national conversation about corruption and nepotism was forced into the open. And for the first time in years, the political establishment realized that the young people of Nepal, the ones they had ignored for so long, could not be silenced. One protester, Sarisha Shrestha, sighed. The buildup of the frustration was what led to this movement. Another, Shri Gurun, added, Gen Z demanded accountability. But unfortunately, what we saw was the government using excessive forces and murdering these youths. They paid the highest price. But they also proved something powerful, that when a generation rises together, even governments must listen. In the aftermath, a young law student from Kathmandu told CNN, this is very chaotic. All WhatsApp groups are exploding with discussions and fears. But another protester, Sahadev Khatri, said, I think Nepal is ready to see the young faces along with the experienced ones. The future of Nepal is uncertain. The young people who took to the streets are asking, what comes next? But one thing is clear. The generation that was called unserious proved they were anything but. They were the fire that burned away the darkness. They were the storm that swept away injustice. And their voices, those 72 voices silenced by bullets, will never be forgotten. Jai Nepal.